YouTube land? Charles Hutcherson here, man, and today we are talking about hybrids, asymmetric hybrids to be exact. We have the Storm Absolute, and then the Black Widow 2.0 hybrid, and then also the new Outer Limits from Radical. So these are all asymmetric balls, and I think they all kind of fit into that, like not completely upper tier, but like asymmetric balls that have a lot of shape down lane. So we want to get them all in the lane next to each other so everybody can see. And then I am going to follow up this and more hybrids, all the Brunswick hybrids next to each other, with the Defender hybrid, the Conspiracy, the GB4 as well, so everybody kind of see what that ball looks like. But yeah, I want to get this one done first, and then get this out to the people. But yeah, man, so we're gonna start off with the Black Widow. That is kind of the Dundada, and then we're gonna jump to the Absolute. We're gonna jump to the Outer Limits. My initial thoughts are definitely going to be that the Widow is probably going to shape the most down lane. Right behind that is more than likely going to be the Absolute, and then the Outer Limits being the most even of the bunch. Not saying slow, but like again, I'm not changing the covers or tweaking them. The only thing I've done with the Absolute was touch it with a little surface. I really didn't like the reactor gloss a ton on that ball. But yeah, every other ball, like again, has some time on it, so none of them have that same, you know, super shiny finish to them. So they're all like a little, you know, look like they look hazed. The best way to say it. But yeah, man. So we're gonna go ahead and get to it, man, and throw all three of these balls. I'm like, no. All right, so I'm gonna stand about 15, I'm sorry, with my feet. Blow some shots here. Got down the lane. So I recorded some shorts here. So the shot is really fresh. It might have been like 10 shots maybe thrown in this lane at all. Like my boy Ken, shout out to Ken. He took care of me today and gave me some fresh lanes. So yeah, man, all of them should be able to play pretty straight, and then again be able to transition left and really see what all these balls look like. So I'm gonna throw, again, still standing on 15 with my feet, trying to get between first and second arrow. Got on down a little bit more. Yeah, and that's the thing with these hybrids, and you know, this cover, like they just get on it, they respond. Like, and that responded. I hit up on it a little bit more, and it really just saw it just a little bit more at the end and didn't get the 4-pin out. And then we'll pick up the Absolute and throw the Absolute from here. It's a little inside. That last shot again, just a little inside. That probably hit more at like second arrow. And again, it got there, shaped. Oh, tried to knock him over. But yeah, just as clean. And it made like just a slower, little gradual turn. So just keep on throwing it. Yeah, and I'll get to some more real detailed analysis once I get to my comfort zone and I'm doing, you know, what I really like to be doing with my hand. All right, let's throw a good shot here. But let's go ahead, Outer Limits, standing on 15. Oh, she saw it. She saw the front of the lane in red. So again, that ball does have, again, a little more surface on it, but it has been lane shined a little bit. So like, it's not like, oh, fresh 2000 out the box or anything like that. But yeah, throw it a couple more times. Yeah, stand on 15. A little more forward with my hand. So by far, in my opinion, the earliest ball, like, is just seeing it that much. But because of seeing it earlier, I'm seeing it dig in and just get to the pocket. Kind of more of a more gradual motion, where the Absolute and the Black Widow were just that much cleaner down the lane. Yeah, I'm gonna throw one more shot with this one. Then we're gonna go pick up the Widow and move to 20. Got that out there. Oh. threw it out the window a little bit, and it still, again, retained enough energy. Didn't quite get the 10 out, but again, still looked pretty good for, again, more of an errant shot. But yeah, just at the bottom, just squirted a little forward. But yeah, man, like the ball. Again, these particular zones, I'll probably be using weaker stuff that was just a little bit cleaner, like GB2s. But yeah, we're gonna go ahead and move on to 20. So moving to 20, and got the Widow back in my hands. So we're gonna see what happens. I'm gonna be looking between second and third arrow. Oh, gave it a little too much. She said bye-bye. All right, let's see if I can keep that a little bit in, see what the ball reaction we get. Hit up on that one. Man, I just feel like the ball got behind a little bit behind my back, and I really overcompensated, and it just was not a good combination of things going wrong. So yeah, man, we'll try to throw one more shot with this one and make it a good one. So try to throw this one good. Probably need to keep my speed down if I get it to the right. So again, looking between second and third arrow. This ball hooks. Again, I hit my marks, everything I was looking at, and again, we got 10 back. So I'm gonna go ahead and switch to the absolute. And yeah, again, if you speed, miles per hour, again, I'm staying around that low 15 mark right now because of the lane conditions. There's some oil out there, so I don't need to be throwing it as hard as I possibly can, like 17 miles per hour. For me, you know, there's people that throw it a lot harder, but again, for me in my game, this is what I'm comfortable doing. So, but yeah, let's go ahead and get to absolute. Absolute from 20. That was closer to third arrow, and that was closer to third arrow. That's missing. And man, the absolute looking, again, really clean, but it's seeing the back end of the pattern. And that was very comparable to the motion I'm seeing from the Widow, actually. Again, I haven't thrown the absolute as much, and so it's good to see this. So I know, like, again, ball reactions. So still standing on 20, looking through second and third arrow. Throw this one a little faster. So threw it a little faster and got a little behind the head pin. That's really, I got 10 pin. But yeah, man, go one more with the absolute. Then we're gonna go ahead and go to the outer limits, and then we're gonna keep on moving across the lane. All right, still standing on 20. See what happens here. Definitely third arrow. And man, 4 pin. So the outer limits is reading the lane probably like a good foot before either of these balls are, the Widow and the absolute. So definitely gonna have to give this one a little more gas to get it through some of this friction that it's seeing. So, cause that ball's digging, like it is, again, it just couldn't even get there. So let me try to throw another one, throw it a little, amp my speed up a little bit more. Third arrow. So got it a little further inside, and again, it continued, went through the pins. But yeah, that ball is the earliest of this bunch for sure, like night and day. Now the question with the outer limits is, how will it respond once we get further left? All right, let me try to get this one through second and third arrow. Got that one through there. Gave it a little more speed, but lost a little hand at the bottom, and that's what happened. Just went kind of a little forward. So, yeah, man, we'll go ahead and jump a little further left. Back to the Widow, going to 25. All right, going between third arrow and left. Oh, 10 pin. 25. Let's get to it. I gave it a lot. So I gave it more of everything and still linked it a little right, but it got up the hill. So yeah, throw one more shot. Let's see if we can get it just a little further left and see if we can, again, keep the targeting down lane. So I want to hit about 10, not so much 7, 6. So see if we can keep this in and get a high flush strike. And yes, I am more into my comfort zone. So let's see if we can get some good shots here. Oh God. So I gave it the hand and it took off. It hooks. So yeah, man, let's go ahead, switch up, see what the Absolute does. All right, on 25, see what she does. Absolute looks pretty good. Pretty good. All right, so on 25. Yeah, got a little too far right at the bottom. Just kind of pushed it a little bit, and it just went a little too far. Didn't shape back, but at the ball fault. But go one more Absolute, and we'll get to the outer limits. Got around that one pretty good. Got the 10 out. So when I get on it a lot, like the Absolute still seems to be getting just a smidge smoother, where I feel like the Black Widow can kind of really take off. The Absolute just kind of rolls. But yeah, so that's what the Absolute. Let's go to the outer limits. All right, outer limits, I think should be at home here because it has a little bit more surface on it, just a little bit. Blends out the back end. I feel like this is kind of the best ball from right here because it's some oil there, and again, this ball is just reading it, setting up, being a little more consistent than both of these two like really cleaner balls, and that's really what people have to really understand. So when some of the ball reaction we've seen from the Absolute and Widow lends itself to saying those are not the right balls to be throwing from this part of the lane. But the first shot with the outer limits, it just read it because it has a little more surface on it. It just continued, and again, I feel like I'm gonna throw a couple more shots, and let's see how bad my misses are with that ball in comparison to what we saw with those other two that have a little more surface, have more polish on them, or compound. So that's the takeaway. Oh, I missed that way inside. I just talked about how it's not going to accentuate my misses. If I miss right, I miss left. All right, outer limits, 25. Make one good shot here. We're gonna get to 30. All right, third arrow. So if you like a little more control, outer limits is definitely the way to go. And they're just, again, all three are good balls. I think they're just, again, a little bit different for each particular purpose. If you want to play a little straighter, I like the way the Absolute looked. The Absolute was just, again, a little cleaner, a little rollier. But yeah, man, options, hybrids. I expect this to jackknife a little bit. Got around it pretty good. Miss far left. Again, this is just a fun part for me. Swinging the lane, getting all over it. Again, looks good. So one more shot, and then we'll go to the Absolute. Really inside. So again, looking about between 4th and 5th arrow from that far left, and it's working. It's working out really well. I like the way that ball shapes. So let's get to the Absolute and see how does that ball look from there. A little Absolute from 30. From deep. From deep. Man, the Widow and the Absolute don't look super different. Not gonna lie. Yeah. Throw a couple more shots first. Got on it. So I said that, then I did that. I gave it a little bit more of everything and it just meh. So it seems to be a little smoother than the Widow. Like just a hair. This is a hair smoother than what the Widow is, absolutely. Got around now pretty good. Punch. So I feel like if I did that with the Widow would have been big 4. But again, there is a ball for everybody. I'm not saying either one of these balls are bad. Like, Absolute's still good. See a lot of people throwing them. Again, it's just a little smoother than what the Black Widow is. So I'm gonna go throw the outer limits really quickly and go from there. 30. See what the outer limit does, man. See if it surprises us. Really like this outer limits, man. Again, not nearly as clean. You can see that ball just chugging, revving up a little bit faster than the other two. But again, still looks good. Let's throw another one from here. Carry City, man. So one more with this one, then we'll go ahead and switch up the angles. Missed it a little inside. Oh, what I mean, this ball, I just really like this ball. Outer limits, really like it. Just, I do. The colors, how it rolls, just come on. But yeah, man, that is it, man. If you like, for this field angle, we are gonna switch it up so you see it closer up. But man, again, the earliest by far is the outer limits. Then I give it to the Absolute, then the Black Widow. Then the Black Widow is still the cleanest. And then talk about response time. Then the Black Widow is still the quickest. And right behind that, Absolute, outer limits, kind of as I expected. But yeah, man, if you're in the market for a hybrid and you really like hybrids, these are 3 top choices in my opinion. So yeah, I'm gonna switch it up.
So always is the question is how do these balls fit in my bag? And to answer the first part of this question, no, I would never carry all 3 of these balls around. At most, right, I would carry 2. The outer limits, and I will probably keep the surface on. I might even hit it with a 2000 pad to create a little more separation. And then I would keep 1, the Widow or the Absolute, depending on the house I was going to. If I was going to a house, right, that was typically heavier volumes, and I needed that additional help down lane, I would lean towards the Widow. If the lanes were a little more high friction and the balls typically already change direction a lot, I'm going to lean towards the Absolute in these particular cases. Because again, if something is a higher friction and a faster responding, like even slower balls look quick, which AMF Margate, the other house that I record in, happens to look like that a lot of the time. So I would use the Absolute a little bit more there because again, this ball's giving me a little more control and it's gonna see it just a little sooner. And I wanna go high flush instead of getting behind the head pin with a cleaner ball like the Widow is. So that's exactly how I have them. You know, I kind of elaborated throughout the course of the video that the earliest is by far, of course, the outer limits because it has some surface on it. And I honestly don't believe like if I added a compound, would it be that much quicker? Would it catch up to a Widow? I don't believe so. But that's how I have these balls stacked up. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Until next time, guys.